Hi, hello everyone. Thank you for coming to the session of self-service data exploration with Q&A, insights, and Cortana. My name is Yaron Kanari. I'm a product manager in the Power BI team. I'm part of the team that focuses mainly on Power BI on mobile and other devices. I'm leading the efforts for natural language capabilities of Q&A on mobile, insights, and also on Cortana with Power BI integration. So this screenshot simulates what executives and managers have in their Power BI workspace. In this example, you can see what Scott Guthrie, Microsoft Cloud and Enterprise VP, has in his workspace. So these are hundreds of dashboards that were shared with him. And when we talk with BI research companies, what we hear about modern BI is that modern BI is not only about nice visuals and data analytics, but it's also about smart data discovery. And when we build our solution, we think on everyone in the organization, from the data analysts to the managers and the executives, and try to help them to get the most out of their data. So there are two main challenges that I would like to discuss in this session. The first one is how to find the data that you need. And when we think about Power BI, where all the BI data is how to help our users to get their data and to find the dashboard that shows them the relevant data that will help them to take better business decisions. And the next challenge is about, OK, so now we found the data. How to get the right answers to the business questions about your data. So already today, there are a few ways to manage these challenges, right? And what we would like to show in this session is how we make it even easier for you to answer these two questions. And we are taking you a few steps forward in terms of get a better business decisions based on data. So first, let's drill down to the first challenge of how to find the data that you need. And we identify three different user types in the way that they navigate to their Power BI data. So these users say, when I use a dashboard more than a few times, I add it to my favorites. This way I can file on the dashboards I care about in the favorite section. So this user is what we call a proactive user. This user works in order to make his data more accessible for him. And when we use the favorites, so the landing page in Power BI will be the favorite section, so the data will be accessible easy. Another user says, I sometimes get an email with a link to the dashboard. So this user is more than a type of maybe a manager or executive, but not necessarily. And this user gets the data when others push the data to her, right? And there is another user that say, we don't have a lot of dashboards. So everything is in the share with me section or maybe in the apps page. So this user is familiar with the new terminology of Power BI navigation with the shared with me section and with the apps page. But it doesn't always know where to find what. Let's take, for example, a question that we would like to answer using a dashboard. So this is an example of a question for what are FY16 sales in Q4. So one way is to open the web browser. Another way is maybe to open the mobile app. Then we can navigate to the site. And these are only examples of navigation ways to find the data. So one way is to go to the recent. We help the user to find their data using the recent section. Another way is to use the apps, the new apps. And favorite, we discussed about it, and the share with me. So these are only examples. It can be also in other places, but we already now try to help our users to find their data. And once they find the relevant dashboard, they can just click on it and to view the dashboard. And what we would like to suggest here is to make it even easier for you to get all these paths through the dashboard. And for that, what we suggest is the integration of Power BI with Cortana. So Cortana is actually what you see in Windows 10 search box. Many people don't even know that they use Cortana when they search for an app or document in their local device. But Cortana can do much more than that. So Cortana can also connect with online services, with Office 365, and also with other third-party apps. And now, also with Power BI, right? So we connect Cortana and Power BI to make data access more easy. So I will now go to a demo. This demo shows first what is available today for Cortana and Power BI. And we got a lot of good feedback from customers about that, but we don't want to stop there. We want to bring you much more. So I will then show you what's coming very soon to your ends. It's not a matter of few months, it's more a matter of few weeks. So let's go first of what we have today. All right, so there are a few steps that need to be taken in order to enable Power BI integration with Cortana. So first, you will need to see in the Cortana that on the settings that you are using English United States. This is something that we now support, and we have some plans to bring more languages. So here you can see the Cortana language set to English United States. Another thing that you will need to do is to go to the accounts and see if you are connected to your Active Directory account. So let's see, in the Access Worker School, I'm connected. So that's great. These are the things that you should do on your Windows device to make sure that you're all connected and set up. Now let's go to the Power BI website and see how we can create a report that is optimized for the Cortana layout. So let's edit the report and add a new report page. Go to the page size and change it to Cortana layout. Now, let's take some field here. Year-to-date revenue. I would like to see it as a gauge. And to put the target revenue in the target value. Great. And now I would like also to see the year-to-date revenue by account type, and to see it maybe as bar chart. Let's see. OK, that's great. So we built a report, and now we should also give it a name so we can find it, right? So we go to the page information, and let's give it the name pipeline report sales. And you can also give it some synonyms that will help the users to find it. So in this case, let's call it also year-to-date revenues. OK, so I'm saving the report. We have now a Cortana layout report. I know that you can take more time and make it even look nicer. This is only for example. And one more step that is required is to go to the settings of the data sets and to enable the relevant data set to Cortana. So I'm going here and check this box, apply. OK, so these are all the steps required to enable reports for Cortana. Now I will try to get this report that I just created in Cortana. So it might take a few minutes until it will show up. So I will run a query that just kill the search UI. I hope that it will work. And now I can try to find it out. So pipeline, report, sales. Right, so this one is the report that I just created. There is a little problem with the resolution, but this is what I get. I get the same report that I just created, and I can now share this report with my colleagues and tell them that they can now easily view it with just going to the Windows search and start typing and get this result. So these reports also have filters, right, like all reports. So let's try to see what happens if I just tell in Mexico, because I want to drill down to Mexico. So we get the same report, but now with filtering. We use natural language to do it. So I can see that Mexico are doing in good shape in terms of year-to-date versus their target. So this is a great capability that we have today in Power BI that you can already start and using. And this is by itself is pretty amazing, but we don't want to stop here, and we want to bring you more capabilities, right? So what about dashboards, right? These are reports. This is a great capability. We can take reports, show it, and filter it. But what about dashboards? So to bring dashboards to Power BI, you don't have to do anything. So yes, you need to have Windows 10. You need to have Cortana, but that's about it. So let's see. I have a dashboard that's called Adventure Work Sales. So let me try to search for it. Power BI, show me Adventure Works Sales. All right, so this is a dashboard that I have in my workspace that I created, and I didn't do any creation of this dashboard for Cortana. It's just here. And what happens if I don't remember the full name, like Adventure Works? So it gives me auto-completion. And I can also skip the works and try to write sales. But what happens if I do a typo, right? I did SLAES. So still, we have error correction, and we can find this dashboard. And if you saw the keynote yesterday, I guess that most of you did, so Patrick showed there some dashboard that is related to movies, right? And actually, I don't remember the full name, but I do remember that Patrick was the one that shared this dashboard with me. So when I search for Patrick, I cannot even know how to spell his name, but when I search for Patrick, I just see that Patrick shared a dashboard with me that's called Top Movie Analysis. So now I can click on it and just go in a few seconds to the web app to see this dashboard. OK, so I hope that you like it. This is something really great. It is coming to you very soon. And it's going to change, as we see it, the way that users consume their data. But you know what? We want to make it even faster. OK, so let's see what can be faster than that. So this is a machine that is connected to our labs in Israel. And we are now working on developing even newer capabilities that we would like to bring. So I will search for a dashboard that, again, I didn't do any specific Cortana-related work. I just have a dashboard in my workspace or maybe in other workspaces, and I will look for it. So the name of the dashboard is Finance Dashboard. And I can see it here. So what will happen when I click on it? So this dashboard renders inside Cortana. OK? So what we had already seen and we have available today is to be able to consume report pages filtered. And now we are bringing to you also the availability to see dashboards in the format of a Cortana layout. So this is a very fast way to get the dashboard to your Cortana and to just see it. So think on the managers and executives that you can just tell them, instead of sending them an email with a link, just tell them, you know what, you can search in Cortana and you will find it. And then they can remember the name and search for it. So this is great. Let's see what happens if I want to know more about this dashboard. I can always open it in Power BI and click on it to see the white screen layout. OK, so I hope that you liked it. But we have more. OK, so this layout that you've seen is Cortana layout, but it also looks similar to what we have today on the mobile applications, right? It looks like a phone. So what will happen if I will try to optimize it for the mobile? OK, so there is a feature. Not sure if all of you are aware of it. You can go to the dashboard and edit the web view to a phone view. And then you can optimize the dashboard for the phone. So let's try to do a simple thing about having 2 cards in a single row. OK, so this is great. Now let's go to Cortana. And you can see the mobile optimized layout that I just created. And we can benefit two things. We can have it on the mobile and on Cortana with single touch optimization. And still, we can click on the Open in Power BI and get to find the wide screen and more tiles to get more drill downs. So this is what we have today and what we're planning to bring to you very soon. And let's now go back to the PowerPoint deck to see what are the capabilities that it contains. So the first thing that I would like to mention about the new coming capabilities is that it just works. Like on the mobile application, that you don't need to do anything special. It just works for you. You can search for a dashboard and just see it. So you don't have to work for Cortana, but you can ask Cortana to work for you. And the smart search capabilities that we are planning to bring are these. You can search for a dashboard by the display name, by the owner name, and also by the workspace and the app name. As you saw, we have autocomplete, so we don't have to remember the full dashboard name. We have error correction, so maybe when users type fast and it happens, they have error, so we know how to fix that. And you don't have to say, Power BI, show me dashboard name. You just need to start typing. This is not about Cortana skills. This is about first-party integration of Power BI with Cortana. So before moving to the next topic, I can tell you that there are good reasons to encourage your team to use Cortana. So first, this is a single entry point to look for everything, basically. So it can search for local documents and apps on your device, but it can also connect to online services, not only Power BI, but also O365 and other services, and can be one-stop shop for everything. When we think on Power BI, this is by far the fastest and easiest way to get a quick view of dashboard and reports. It's a matter of a few seconds. And these 2 points lead me to the third one, that is, you can really empower now every user in your organization to get more out of this data and to take better business decisions. So think on Satya that wants to know how many Windows 10 monthly active devices are there. So one way is to ask someone to send them a snapshot or a PowerPoint. But another way, if we can tell Satya, hey, just search for Windows 10 MAD, monthly active devices, and he can find it. So that would be much easier way for him that he don't have time to just I don't know, open Power BI maybe and then search for favorites or recent. So it just use Cortana and find it. All right, so this was Cortana. And now we found the data. But what about the step taken after to get the right answers to your business questions? So what we would like to bring to you is the virtual analyst. And when we think about virtual analyst, this is an analyst that can help you not only to answer your questions, but also to suggest you some related important information and can talk with you. So what we did is to take the Q&A that exists today on the web and on iOS mobile that you can use to ask natural language questions. And we added on top of that some new conversational capabilities because, users don't want to always ask the full question. It wants to be in context. So, for example, if you want to know what is the weather in Seattle, and then you want to know what about tomorrow, so you will not want to ask how is the weather in Seattle tomorrow, right? And for that, we added the Power BI Insight. These insights already exist today also in Power BI. And when bringing all of these three components together, we can create a virtual analyst. So let's go through these components that we discussed and then see a demo. So for the Q&A part, so sometimes the data is just there, right? You can go to a report, see the data, this year's sales for store. That's great, I got it. Sometimes we need to use filters, right? We need to go to the filter pane to click on something that we want to know. For example, to know about Andrew Ma sales. And then, again, I get the data. So there are solutions to get answers to business questions. But sometimes we just want to have a very quick and easy and intuitive way to ask a question and get an answer. So this is about what Q&A is about. And when we think on Q&A, especially on mobile, we think about having a nice and interactive experience. And for that, we would like to have some kind of conversation with our data. So Q&A today, you need to enter the full text in order to get an answer. So we don't want to stay there. We want to bring more. And for that, we will bring new conversational capabilities. Let me walk you through some capabilities that we are going to bring. So this is an example of having filters on the data. In this example, the user can ask, show me sales by year, and then to filter it out to show it for Ford. OK, so in this case, we will take sales by year and then filter it to Ford. So we will get a question of, show me sales by year for Ford. Another example is topic exploration. We can ask, show me BMW sales, and then how about Ford? We know to identify that both Ford and BMW are car brands. And we know with the how about question that we need to replace BMW by Ford to get a new question that is, show me Ford sales. Another capability is about topic extension. So some cases we just want to compare one attribute with another. So in this case, show me BMW sales, and then I can ask, compare it to Ford. And I come up with a whole new question about show me BMW sales compared to Ford. So this is about analysis in context, to have the ability to have follow-up questions and to have a real conversation with the data. All right, but what happens if I don't know what the next question will be? So sometimes I know what to start with. I want to know about maybe my company sales. But many times I can see some strange things on the data, some anomalies, and I don't know what the next question should be. And for that, we have a great power already in Power BI that is the Power BI Insights. So there are 12 algorithms that we run already in Power BI. You can use it by going to a dashboard or to a tile and then to ask for quick insights. And this insight is a great power of artificial intelligence that we run on our machines in order to get insights that are related to our data. So these are a few examples. This example is about trend. We can see the sales going down. There is another insight about change point where we see two trends that are contradictive. And another one is about correlation, negative correlation in this case, where we can see the sales for compact and mid sales as negative correlation. And also there is the outlier when we see a spike in the data. So we have 12 insight types that we ran all the time in order to help you to find more. OK, so let me just recap. So we took the Q&A that we have today on the web and on iOS mobile. We add to it conversational capabilities. And in addition, we integrated with the Power BI Insights. And all of this together created the new virtual analyst. So now I will show you a demo of the virtual analyst. So let me connect. Great. So this is my iPhone application. This is a private build, development build, and also these capabilities that you will see here will be released very soon to you, so you can try it out. All right, so I'm getting into the pipeline dashboard, and now I can see a welcome message. Just let me see if it's alive. So hi. OK, so I'm OK. And now let me start and ask about show me estimated revenue. So this is a sales dashboard of my company, and I want to see the estimated revenue. Here I can see a card that shows the estimated revenue for this year, but basically I would like to see it by month. So I can ask now, how about by month? So there is a follow-up query, in-context analysis that can now give me the estimated revenue, but now by month. So this is a bar chart. This is not the optimized view as I can see it. So let me try to maybe to change the view. We will get to the insights in a second. So show it as, and then I can pick from the visualization here. I can just pick for the line chart. So let's see. Yeah, I got it here. Show it as line chart. So we have here the estimated revenue by month. And now let's look on the insights. So the virtual analyst suggested me some related insights to the question that I asked in the scope of the question. So I can see a few things that might be interesting. So first one, we can see that in progress and won, these are the pipeline stages, as a lot of estimated revenue and just canceled and outsold as less, this means that we are in good shape, so that's great. But we can also see here that some account owner, Joe, has noticeably more estimated revenue than others. So this is something that I didn't ask for, but this is related to the estimated revenue. And maybe I can get some new data that can help me later to drill down more and get more out of my data. So you can see here that Joe is highlighted in the visual itself. Then I can also use some of the features on the mobile application of share and annotate, and I can maybe put a smiley and then send it to Joe or to his manager. So that's great. And another way to go and find insights is to ask for them, right? So let's see what happens if I just ask for show me. There is a measure that people like on the sales, and it's variance to target. Sorry, show me insights. So I now want to see if there is anything interesting about variance to target. So I get here a list of insights, and I can see here some interesting stuff that are related to the variance target. OK, so I can see that Cecilia has noticeably less variance to target. So this is something that makes me wonder. So I can open the insight and see it here. OK, great. So this is a great thing to know about the variance to target by the different account owners. And we can see it also here that October has noticeably more variance to target. So we can see that we are doing very great in October, but less good over the other months, like over May. So we can then share this insight with our colleagues. OK, so this is the virtual analyst. You can just imagine how far it can go in terms of getting more out of your data. You can start by asking one question and get a whole new world in front of you. So basically, let me summarize what we saw in this session. So we saw several things and how we bring artificial intelligence into the product, how we make the data more accessible to you, and how we bring some insights capabilities that can help you get the right answers, not necessarily the question that you ask, but answers that are related to the data, and bringing that to help you to take better business decisions. This is what all Power BI is about. So this was a session of Cortana Q&A and Insights. I hope that you liked it. And we are here to answer any question about it. So, yeah.
So that Q&A app you just showed us, would that, is that standalone or is that a facility within the Power BI app?
So right now, it's only available in the Power BI iOS app. But we built it in a way that all the logic is on the server side. So we tried first on the mobile application to see that it answers customer needs. This is our MVP. And then when we see that we answer the needs, we can then wrap it and bring it maybe to more Power BI apps, and maybe also as a standalone that others can connect to. So we start with the iOS application, and we can later think on how to wrap it and make it more available and on other platforms and other applications. Yeah.
So one of the challenges we've seen today with Q&A is it doesn't handle terms like who is late, because it doesn't know who is. Is there any plans to extend categorization to, say, people, objects, so we can give Q&A better hints? Because otherwise we have to go into synonyms and repeatedly put the same terms over and over again, these generic terms to say, oh, this is a person, or this is a place, or something like that. It doesn't seem to take advantage.
Right. So these are things that we hear a lot from customers. I'm not surprised. And this is about the linguistic schema improvements that we are looking on that with Microsoft research team, a team of experts that is located in Beijing. And we are trying to bring more capabilities to enrich the linguistic schema even on the fly, right? So yeah, this is something that we hear from customers. We have two approaches for that. One is to improve the linguistic schema, and another approach is to try to bring the data to be more structured, right? And for that, we also have some plans, and we are looking for how to help the user to structure their data. Because this is also a challenge that we hear a lot from customers, that the Q&A just doesn't work on their data, and they need to work very hard for that. And this is something that we're looking at.
Because we're spending more time in Q&A. The executives really love it, but the amount of work we've got to put into the synonym setup is taking more time.
Right.
And the other part of that, too, is the first question that they always want to ask is, what's available? Like, because in your example, it's like, show me revenue numbers. They don't even know they have that available.
Right. So we are also working on that. You can already maybe see the suggestions that are appearing on the start, but these are quite naive. But we are trying to bring more default fields up there in the suggestions to help the user get started. So first will be maybe something like show me general insights. Then we can bring show me insights about specific measure. And the next step will be to give the author the availability to set some fields as the default, so they will appear first. So.
Are you thinking about bringing in other statistical terms, not just the data that's there? Things like show me the cells and regions above the mean, above the median, or give me the projected cells to the end of the month. Things of that nature, which in English you can pretty much figure out what they're asking.
Right. So we are definitely looking at that. We have a full backlog of stuff, so we need to try to prioritize that. This is more something that we need to do on the engine itself, on the natural language engine. And we need to prioritize this stuff against maybe the linguistic schema improvements. So we need to see how we fix both. And this is a good input that we need to follow up with customers like you and to try to see what are the main problems in the natural language engine that we can maybe easily fix and bring more advanced capabilities for that. Any other question? Yeah.
Can you quickly go over the steps again that are required to enable Cortana to find
Yeah.
RPI records?
So there are two things that you need to see and check in the windows. And the first thing is that we are now available only in English United States. So you need to go to Cortana here, to the settings, and to check the Cortana language that is set to English United States. It basically takes it from the windows and you can change it for your favor. And the next thing is that you need to see is that you are connected with your account to the Windows machine. So you can go to accounts, search for accounts, then access work or school, and then see here that you are connected to your work account. These are the steps on the Windows. And the other thing that you should do is to create a Cortana layout report. To do that, you just need to go to the page size and to change it from 16 to 9 to Cortana layout. Then you get this layout. And you will need to give it a name so users can find it. You can also give it some synonyms here. The Q&A switch will be enabled automatically when you give it a name. So this is that. And the last thing that you should do is to go to the settings. So I can go here to my workspace, datasets, pipeline sales, go to the settings of the datasets, and to look for Q&A and Cortana and to enable this checkbox. So all these things are for reports. For dashboards, you will just need to see that Windows is set up with Cortana.
You took the command earlier in the Cortana command line to force a sync, basically. What was that?
Yeah, so it was just because of the demo. You don't have to do it. It might take up to a few minutes.
Helpful,
OK, OK. So it was TS kill Cortana. OK, so this one will just kill the search UI and reload the token. This one.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
For those Cortana-specific pages, is there any way to hide them? So if you have a report with 10 pages, that I just put them at the end.
So today there isn't a way to hide them, but I can share with you some thoughts that we have regarding Cortana report pages. So we have today report layouts optimized for mobile, like we saw on the dashboard. So we have the same concept for mobile reports. And we think about, hey, why we should have this Cortana layout? Why don't we can leverage what we have today already for mobile? Why people should work for Cortana, right? And if we will do this step, then on the website, you will not see the report layout. So this is another way to hide those reports, but to bring you much more than that. So this is not committed, right? But this is something that we are obviously looking at and would like to bring to you. OK, any other question? OK, we are here.
I've seen some changes in the Windows Insider builds on the Cortana pane. So like I had one show up in the middle of the page instead of on the side. So I don't know if they're making some changes there.
So
Give us more real estate.
yeah, so you mean the wide screen of open, like in Bing results, right? When you search for something in Bing, you can then maybe open it on widescreen.
Right.
Yeah, so
I did it by accident, actually.
yeah, it's in flighting mode currently. And yeah, we are in collaboration with the Bing team that owns this piece of code. And we would like also to use this part. It's The widescreen currently doesn't give you more layout for the web view itself, but it gives you some more nice user experience. So, but we are looking also at that, how to maybe to get it even better for you.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so thank you very much.